Welcome back to the Evan edition. I forgot to take off that banner during the intro video, but what did you think? What did you think?
I literally like it a lot. I saw a little Man of Steel in there and I got excited.
Yep, had to get the Man of Steel in there. Welcome to the Evan edition. So I was telling Zach before this is a work in progress intro video. And my buddy was like, yeah, like send me a bunch of clips of stuff that you like. I'm like, dude, I like a lot of stuff. So I'm like, where do I start? But I had to start with, at least a Man of Steel that, I'm thinking of infamous scenes, right? First Flight, right? Or the wave scene in Interstellar, or I don't know if you've seen
I popped
Andor.
for that too.
Yeah,
I've seen Andor.
One Way Out, like that speech.
Yeah, that was great.
So it's a work in progress, but I thought let's put it on here and hopefully not get flagged for all the clips. But the way that he did it, with like the timestamp, the overlays, it shouldn't, but I was like,
it's transparent, it's quick.
Yeah, it's quick. Yeah. It's under.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
I was like, I'm going to go live with Zach on Sunday. Let me just test it out, even if it's not a finished product, so we can go back to the drawing board if we need to. So
exactly.
But we're not here for epic intros. We are here for the official spoiler discussion of Superman 2025. We are here. We have seen it. And I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us in the live chat. This is such an exciting time with the comic book movies coming out this summer, having you guys a part of the conversation. Finally, we have seen what James Gunn is trying to do. Now we can talk about it in full spoiler discussion. So there's no holding back in this discussion. We're going to get into all the stuff we enjoyed, all the stuff we maybe didn't enjoy so much, but keep in mind, these are just our opinions. They are not fact. As long as you have opinion, we will respect it. Go off on your opinion because that is your truth. As long as we keep it nice and respectful, because that's the point of these, of movies, of shows, is everyone, it's going to hit you a little bit differently. But as long as we have a discussion about it, a healthy discussion, I think that's awesome. I'm going to spoil when I talked to Zach, because I was just like waiting on like, what does he think of this movie? It wasn't the most glowing, but I was like, yes, this is going to lend itself to such a great discussion, because we don't want everyone to just always agree with us.
Totally. I think it's the discussion becomes more fun when there's different degrees of likability on something, right? Like if if two people are both glowing and they're both like, yeah, that was awesome, yeah, that's awesome, that can get boring after 5 minutes. Ultimate glazing.
Yes, exactly. And we love the stuff that came before so much. And when you have an attachment to the stuff that came before, it's a little bit jarring, and there's some growing pains letting something new into your life, a new Lois, a new Lex, a new Superman, a new director. So, but that's the best part about these things, is like someone's different take on the character, someone's different vision. That is what it came from, because the comic books is everyone's different vision of the character, different illustrations of the character, different dynamics between the characters interacting. So that's what the movies are going to become as well.
Yeah, different mythos. It's people treat. There's so many different origin stories for Superman. Even though this feels like it should be the same thing, they change it up so much, and we get new characters and new dynamics. So you gotta treat the movies like that. I don't hold on to old versions of characters. I cherish them, right? Like I'm like, oh, I love this, but things change so much. Growing up, we've had so many different Spider-Mans. How could I get mad when Tom Holland shows up, or when Tom Holland's done and someone comes in to replace him in 10, 15 years? I'm gonna bring him in open arms, my 50-year-old self.
Miles,
Yes.
Please.
That he's not going to retire until he brings a Miles into the MCU. So I'm taking his word.
My wife and I were just feeling it last night. I'm like, let's put on Across the Spider-Verse. So we had to. It's a not even an annual thing. It might be a monthly thing, man. Those movies are incredible.
So good.
But I want to talk more about Superman. So how we're gonna do it is we're gonna talk about what we liked about the film, give some key points, talk about specific things. Then we're going to go more into maybe the things that we didn't like or thought could have been better. So we'll start with the positive and we'll end with they're not negative, they're just our thoughts. And so I'm going to start it off with a little bit of this. I see some of the chats and I love it. Green Lantern in the movie, Mr. Terrific. So I'm actually going to start a little bit different. I know the obvious is to start with David Corenswet as our new Superman. I want to talk a little bit about what I loved, and that was the side characters. The side characters in this movie, whether it's, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Jimmy Olsen, Miss Tessmacher. This movie was filled with such great side characters, and it really built out the world in such an organic and great way that it already felt lived in. The movie jumped in right away. Can you hear me, Zach? It's going out a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, on your side it blacks out, and then my side blacks out. I don't know why it's doing that, but I still hear you throughout the whole thing.
Okay, can you see my picture right now?
I see your picture right now.
Okay, perfect. So I want to talk a little bit about two of my favorite standouts who now we are hearing might be getting their own TV series. And that is our boy, Mr. Terrific first. Yes. I gotta say, man, for seeing obviously iterations within the comics, within the Arrow universe, I was so curious when it was announced that Mr. Terrific was going to be one of the Justice Gang characters that James Gunn was choosing for the movie. And he always does these kind of not what you would expect characters and brings them into the fold. And he crushed it again because Mr. Terrific is a standout character for me. One, I want to pronounce his name correctly. Is it Edie or is it Eddie? Do you know?
I've been calling him Eddie.
Okay. I'm going to call him Eddie as well. Eddie's portrayal of it is just, it's so cool and it's so funny and straight, straight man, playing the straight man.
Ultimate straight man, yeah.
The ultimate straight man, but the ultimate badass, the ultimate smartest guy in the room. And that's exactly what Mr. Terrific is. You know what I mean? Is the smartest guy in the room at all times, pretty much. And so the way that Eddie played it was so good. And then that specific scene, I'm so glad we get to talk about spoilers, especially with you. I've been dying for this. The scene that once it ended, I was like, this is so James Gunn, was of course the scene on the beach where Lois is protected in the bubble and he is just destroying fools. I thought that was just one, it's so James Gunn with all the action going on around Lois, the song happening, people just getting murked left and right. And then two, to show the strength of not just his genius, but it is his genius, but his superpower is his intellect, and having these spheres and being able to use them in such a like choreographed fighting way was so cool for me. I there's more characters I want to talk about, but why don't we stay on Mr. Terrific? I want to ask you, Zach, did Mr. Terrific work for you? And if so, what did you enjoy about Eddie's portrayal of the character?
Yeah, he's the standout supporting character in the film. And it works on different layers for me because I'm a huge fan of Mr. Terrific from the comics. And he's been sprinkled into animations, movies, and shows before. I think he was in Justice League Unlimited. And I was really excited to see Eddie to get a chance to do a new superhero and be treated correctly because he played a character in X-Men First Class and they did him dirty as Darwin. So for him to come now and beat his ass character, he felt like a black exploitation character, like Shaft, but like a billionaire genius. And I really like that kind of combination of like that jive talk 100%. And how funny he was. But it wasn't a parody because he had a lot of humanity still. A lot of times when they do that, it kind of takes away the humanity of the character, but they still made him have a lot of humanity and be that straight man, like you said. So it combined a bunch of stereotypes in one, but Eddie did such a great job of playing the character, you can overlook that it was stereotypes because he feels like a full-fledged human being.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I love, what you said about his humanity, the connection that he had with Superman, the faith that he had in Superman and what he was doing is right, and that he has well intentions, and regardless of whatever that message said from his parents, and we're going to get to that because that is a big discussion that I can't wait to do, that he knows the person, he's fought alongside this person, and he is unwavering in his loyalty for Superman. And just that alone kind of shows the humanity that he has for these supernatural, super unnatural beings, whether it's Superman or Hawk Girl, or Baby Joey, like there's this, like, he has this staunch, coolness to him, but at the same time, it's a facade for this bleeding heart that he cares about people and he cares about making a difference. And that is like one of the things that I think Eddie had that balance so perfectly.
And I think that comes from the character because in the comics he's atheist and he believes in what he can see and what he can understand and in people. So for him to have someone like Superman who's so super, almost feels godlike, but has so much humanity and wants to do right, I think that's why he's always able to attach to a Superman. He becomes like really close to Batman in the comics. So I could definitely see them utilizing that well moving forward. And he did a good job in the movie itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see him interact with Batman. I think it would be kind of funny, like two brooding like characters who are very intelligent, kind of like trying to one up each other a little bit, kind of like with Bloodsport and Peacemaker, and Suicide Squad, like trying to like one up each other. Like we basically do the same thing, like seeing them do that would be really funny. So yeah, I completely agree. The other one that I really enjoyed was Jimmy Olsen. I really thought. Can you hear me, Zach? It froze a little bit.
So you're so good.
Okay. Yeah. And then also Solely Stream said in the chat, you guys should do Superman trivia. Whoever loses has to rock the Guy Gardner bowl cut. I don't know if you can tell, but not a lot going on up here to do a bowl cut.
I'm not cutting these. I'm not cutting these to do that.
Yeah, those look like they take a while to grow out. I don't think you want to do the work again.
This is 8 years worth of hair. I'm not doing it.
That's a long time. That's a big investment. I want to talk a little bit about Jimmy, and then for the View with Drew, we're definitely going to talk a little bit about, I love Man of Steel. I know Zach does as well. So we'll talk a little bit towards the end, maybe a little bit about which one we're feeling a little bit more. Obviously, I've only seen Superman once, and this was on Tuesday. Zach's only seen it once on Friday. We got to live and breathe with it, but I think it's a great discussion, and we'll touch a little bit on it in a little bit, the differences between Henry and David's Superman. But I want to stay on these side characters for a second. Jimmy Olsen has always been, and this is no pun intended, a character that's been pushed to the side a bit. And
Yeah.
I was really surprised how much screen time James Gunn gave to Skylar's Jimmy Olsen. I was very surprised because I thought it was going to be some quick shots, but it was like he had a solid story all the way through. His
Yeah.
scenes with Tessmacher are
So funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
She played that so well. Another great side character.
Yeah.
And the side character is not diminishing their value in the movie because they
No.
help make the movie what it is. But I really thought Jimmy, for the amount of time that he had, it was such a solid performance. The joke that like he doesn't get why girls just find him hella cute and attractive. Using him as an in to Miss Tessmacher to finally get Lex and all the BS that he's been doing. It was just such a great way to use the character. And then on top of those smaller parts with, you know, him and Clark, you know, kind of getting excited in the newsroom and his scenes with Lois. And so I really enjoyed this character. I think, you know, there's so many Jimmy comics that can lend to a great TV series.
Yeah.
But this is another standout side character for me. I want to pick your brain. What did you think of Skylar's portrayal of Jimmy? Did you like it as much as me, or did you think maybe it didn't work for you as much as it did for me?
No, I loved it. Like you said, the character is pushed to the side. He's one of Superman's main supporting characters throughout history in comics, live action, animation. He's a character that's really, really important to Superman. But a lot of times people don't know how to write him. So they kind of just, I'm
Right.
Superman's best friend. And then he just disappears. So what I liked is one, Skylar made this character work through and through. He's an actor that I've enjoyed in other projects. And he's always, I was like, he's Jimmy Olsen in these shows and movies I've seen him in. So the fact that he was fan casted as this character and then he got to do it and it knocked it out of the park is awesome because he has that like unconventional attractiveness to him where like he kind of looks like a dork, but there's something kind of handsome about him.
Yeah.
So he's like probably grew up. Yeah, like he grew up like not thinking he was handsome. Then he became like a 30-year-old, and now girls like him. He doesn't understand why because it never happened until now. Kind of like that ugly duckling who had to be funny and build charisma to get over, and then he still has all that, but now he's handsome and he doesn't know how to handle it. So I really liked how they did that, and him specifically made me want to see a Daily Planet show. I don't know if a Jimmy Olsen show is good enough, but if they can do a Daily Planet show and kind of bring all these side characters in the Daily Planet that barely got any screen time, and just give them like stories and different arcs and stuff like that, I think that would work.
I agree. I definitely agree. And you know, I love this actor even from I'm a big like The Righteous Gemstones on HBO and he is just so good in it, but you're right, like he has this way about him where he's not like the hot guy, he's not the ugly nerdy guy. He's kind of like the short king, cool, like a little nerdy, a little like cool kind of kid. And then on top of that, um, he just has like the mannerisms and the voice and like the timing, you know, with Miss Tessmacher. And like at the end, when she goes into his arms, like, now we can be together forever. And he's like, yay. And like kind of gives into it. Like his timing is so good with this character. And I
Yeah.
think if it was, I can't it's really, it lends well to like how much you like the character when you're like, I can't imagine anyone else playing Jimmy at this point for the
Yeah.
foreseeable future. Something, you know, with Man of Steel, which they kind of wasted that character a little bit in BVS
Yeah.
quickly. And so I really valued his take. The funny thing I was going to say was, and I'm sure you saw this, is he was saying that he thought that that he was up for Superman,
That's
And
so
he was
funny.
like, "Huh, like, okay, I didn't see that, but yeah, like I could do Superman," and it was like all like down for it. And then James Gunn was like, I had no idea he thought that until I saw this interview. And when me and Peter heard that, we were like rolling on the floor laughing like that he thought that. So
That's such
very
a
cool
Jimmy
stuff.
Olsen thing.
Such a Jimmy Olsen thing. You know, something that I loved about Superman and Lois on the CW was the way that they used Jimmy in a very small capacity as well. But they used it in the sense that like Superman is so caught up in being Superman that he has no time for friends, for the things that humanize him. And in this regard, Jimmy is used as the opposite, as a friend of Clark, someone that he hangs out with to humanize him. Like, I have a really good friend and my boy Jimmy, you know, and so
Yeah.
it's always such a way that the comics have used Jimmy to like it's gone from in the beginning like the plucky like one-liner guy to using him as a making a point that Superman is human. Like he has friends that he jokes with at work. Like, and so I really love that they use him in this regard. I'm going to talk a little bit when we get into our critiques about using characters a little bit more.
Mm.
So I'll talk a little bit more when we get to that. But overall, I think Jimmy is a fantastic, fantastic character in this movie.
Agree.
Um, I wanna throw the mic to you because these are obviously my two kind of standouts. Um, what side character standouts would you like to mention that you thought were a great addition to the overall cast?
I gotta shout out my boy Metamorpho. I was really excited to see
I got
him.
one of these for you.
I was really excited to see this character be brought to life because mainly of the actor that's playing him, Anthony Carrigan, who I know him from Barry, is such a wonderful actor.
Oh, he's
And he was
great.
so good in that show.
Gotham.
Comedic timing, menacing, whatever you need him to do, he can do. And when I saw his performance as Metamorpho, it was unlike anything I've seen him do before. So I'm like, the range on this guy is insane. One. And the character was so interesting because Metamorpho is a tragic character, right? He looks different from everyone else, but he just wants to be treated like everyone else, even though despite he has this weird appearance. And the fact that Superman kind of just treated him like how he would treat anyone else is part of what's great in the movie and probably what brought him on the side of the Man of Steel. And then everyone can relate to someone wanting to save their baby. And I think they did a really good job of incorporating that there. And the way they use his power, showing how dangerous he is as well. The fact that he can just make kryptonite anytime he wants now. And he is a viable option to kill Superman. I don't know if they will ever use that, but I really, really enjoyed how they utilized his character.
I agree. I truly think Metamorpho is another standout, and I'm so happy that you said that because Anthony Carrigan is so good. He's already dipped his toes in DC as Victor Zsasz in Gotham and was really good as that character. Every time on the screen, grabs your attention. You want more of him when he leaves. Like, he is fantastic. And in this role, particularly, and we talked a little bit about this with Mr. Terrific, but it's even harder for humanity to come out when you have pounds and pounds of prosthetics and makeup on you. And the scene in particular where we first meet him, he transforms his arm into kryptonite to hold Superman captive. And then, in order to get Superman information out of him, Lex gets one of Superman's biggest fans, puts a gun to his head, and one of the best scenes, because I can't believe he went there, James, good on you, because everyone thought you were going to be so goofy. This is not a goofy scene, my friend. This was a shocking scene, and he kills him. And then when he goes away, you hear Anthony Metamorpho crying. And he's like, I can't believe he killed that guy. And it was like,
yeah.
oh my goodness. Like, I'm getting like chills a little bit just because you realize, oh, like, he's just like Superman. He's being held captive. He just wants to be with his son. Like, this is like a torture to him. Like, he is like has a bleeding heart as well. He keeps surrounding himself. I see this theme, like he keeps surrounding himself Superman with these people that have similar hearts to him, that feel so much for so many other innocent people. And so I thought that was such a beautiful scene and such a way into the humanity of Metamorpho. And then in this scene in particular, and it lends so well to the imagery in this movie as a whole, I thought it was so cool. One, where he's like, I can't hold my kid and fly and use my powers at the same time. And so in this scene where he's grabbing Superman to not go into the black hole, and then, you know, Superman has baby Joey, Crypto's helping out. It was like, wow, this is one beautiful, but also it just kind of shows like these guys are bonded for life now. Like there's going to be, you know, keep in mind, this is just the groundwork. So there's going to be a lot more connection and scenes with Superman and Metamorpho moving forward, I think. On top of that, I'm hearing a lot of rumors about who baby Joey might become as he grows up. I've heard a crazy Martian Manhunter rumor. I'm not sure if that is accurate. But I do think with this character in mind, how well received he was with Anthony's performance and baby Joey being cute as hell with his little family at the end, like his human wife and shit. Like that was cool. I think we're in store for a lot more Metamorpho going forward.
And the thing is with that character and the fact that Mr. Terrific was in this movie, I don't know if you know about this. There's a comic called The Terrifics, and it's a team led by Mr. Terrific, wet Metamorpho in it. And Plastic Man, which is supposed to be getting a movie. And there's one other character that they end up saving. Yeah, word. You better get a movie. So it's like Mr. Terrific. It's kind of like DC's Fantastic Four, but instead of them being families, more of a ragtag group of people coming together to do science stuff, and they kind of protect the Earth from multiversal threats. So I think that could be really, really interesting because we just talked about a black hole that was going between the multiverse. So we already introduced that kind of topic here, and we already had two of the characters from that team here. I could see them setting that up and getting a Plastic Man, and maybe I forgot who the fourth character is. It's a female character, but I'm not sure who it is. I think that they could do a wonderful job there.
I think you're right. I think that sounds cool. I'm not familiar with the Terrifics, but I think it a rare opportunity because right now what we're seeing with like, you know, maybe Midnight Suns and maybe this group and we're going to waste Illuminati. Like DC has opportunity. I had to throw a jab. DC has opportunity to use these groups and make cool projects with these certain, you know, like all these people, like, you know, the elements of the Earth and finding ways to save Earth in a different way, like different kind of threats. Like that is a cool way in to giving more time to these side characters. Maybe in a Mr. Terrific spin-off show, they'll use elements of that. That is a great idea. But I think
he starts building the team and that leads to a movie.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I think that's awesome. I really like that. Awesome. With that down with Metamorpho, I'm going to take a little break to show you my popcorn bucket. Let's go.
Nice.
So I am not the biggest popcorn bucket guy. I don't have room. I just told Collector Movie Man if I would do physical media collecting if I had the room. I'm sure my wife would love that. No. But I was like, okay, how much is the popcorn bucket? $30. Perfect. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. It's reminds me of a kid. Like they used to have these newsstands outside the coffee shop when my dad would like get his coffee in the morning, and I would get my sesame seed bagel. And I was like, you know what? That's not that much. I'm gonna fill this with a bunch of candy. So when guests come over, we got, go into the, and then also you can change it. So you can change the cover. So this was like the cover.
Ooh.
I of course had to change it to crypto on the front page. But yeah, I had to show that. I forgot to show it when on my Friday's episode when I talked about just a little bit more of my reaction, sitting with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that we talked about Metamorpho though, is there any other, we don't need to continue on the side characters pod, but I want to talk a little bit about more of the things of what did you like about the movie overall? Why don't we give some overall reactions of the movie? Of course, and I do want to mention like Lois is not a side character. She is the lead actress of the movie, and she is fantastic. And we will talk about her and Clark's relationship and stuff like that. Miss Tessmacher was great. Perry White for the very, very small amount of time was like, call me Perry, kid. Great.
Perfect actor.
Perfect actor for it. The parents of Clark, Ma Kent and Pa Kent, really good. Wish I had more time with them. So there's a lot of great side characters, but overall, Zach, positive wise, what did you like about this movie?
I love that we got to see a depiction of Superman that we haven't really gotten to see in full form. That optimism of I can change the world if I try my hardest. I'm going to do what is right. I'm not tied to any particular government or any ideals, illegalities. I'm here for morality. And I love the whole he wants to save everything. It doesn't matter if you're a squirrel, which he did save, a person,
squirrel,
or a fire-breathing dragon zombie thing. Yeah, like I love that he was able to save everyone. He was pissed when they killed the dragon because he wanted to bring them to an interdimensional zoo, which is cool that they have that already. And I find that interesting because this movie takes a lot from Superman the animated series, and a lot of times creatures that he thought he wouldn't kill, he would bring to his zoo that he had them alive there until he could find a way to bring them back home. So I like that they introduced that kind of side of the character, that he was so happy to just save life. And then, Lois said, you see the beauty in everything. And I really like that that's where the character stands. See that, the naivety that he has right now, and I can see where the character arc may be going, where he's not as naive with his ideals as he gets older and as he sees more things, and maybe as he meets Batman. Batman's gonna be brooding and kind of brings him down a little bit from that high horse, and then Superman will lift him up a little bit from his darkness. So I already can see where that arc is going. So I really, really enjoyed David Corenswet as a character. He did a great job. Every corny line that he had to deliver, he did it in such an earnest way that it didn't feel too cringe. It just felt cheesy, which I'm fine with cheese. And the suit didn't look good to me in pictures and in the trailers, but in motion, inside the movie, in the tone of the movie, the suit was great. Hopefully they upgrade it as they go and make the shorts a little smaller because it looks like boxer briefs.
Yep. I definitely saw the boxer briefs. I do like what you're saying though. The silhouette of the character, it's all there. You know what I mean? Like they had promotional wise, the life-size character hanging at the top of the tallest tower in London. And there's helicopter shots of it, like frames of it. I'm like, yep, that's Superman 100%. Looks like he's flying, hovering atop that building. It's really cool. Should have clipped that picture and had it on here, but next time. But no, I agree with you. I think the suit wise, going into it, I'm like, this is a choice. a very James Gunn choice, a very New 52 choice. And so,
good call out.
and I'm not the biggest New 52 fan, to be honest. I love elements of it, of course. And I think you do need to do some rebooting sometimes when things get a little too convoluted. But I do love, like the shield on the classic shield on the back of the cape. I think that is perfect. I love the reasoning behind the shorts, so that he's not so intimidating to children, is what David Cornsweet said. I really love when you're seeing it in action, you're like, yep, that's Superman. It doesn't take me out of it. It doesn't look like I don't know, an Amazon costume, or something like that. Like, I'm like, okay, it looks tighter because they did some work, editing it. It looks tighter on the body.
Yeah, it looked baggy when they first showed it.
Yes, he looks bulkier in it because we wanted to see that Superman muscle. Because he did put on the muscle for this movie. He put on 45 pounds. So, and in the cape, I mean, the classic, the cape, the long cape, it looked really good.
Yeah.
Something else that I really enjoyed about it, now that I have the picture up, is the relationship between Lois and Superman. The Lois and Superman relationship is the pinnacle of any in almost all Superman stories. And so really is what matters is like, is the chemistry there? Does it make sense for the characters? Are the choices that they're making make sense for like the story that they laid forward? And I really, in my opinion, can safely say that it really did, in the sense that when we get introduced, they have this, establishing kind of in her apartment, you know what I mean? Like in her apartment, kind of, we've been dating through 3 months, kind of giving us like the lay of the land of like where they're at in their relationship wise, her knowing that he is Superman, that Clark is Superman.
Just get that out of the way.
Really getting all of it out of the way in an establishing scene. And then on top of that, and we've seen clips of it, obviously, of him saying, they were going to die, and the whole like, okay, if you want me to interview you, like, this is how it's going to go. I'm not going to go easy. And like, just because you say it's off the record, like this is still playing, and he's like, how do you do the button thing? Like, God, how do you do it? And those little things, it's like, wow, like such a simple scene, but establishing their chemistry and their connection so early on lent really well to the crux of the movie. Their relationship is the crux, one of the cruxes of the movie. The other crux of the movie we're going to get to in a little bit, because I really want to pick your brain on Clark's message from his biological parents. But for this, the relationship between them two is really the crux, because when he's in trouble, she becomes the superhero to him, helps save him from the black hole, goes to the Justice Gang. We get to see the makings of the Justice Hall. So we're seeing a lot of things through her eyes, through Clark's eyes, and these are 2 points of views, kind of, through Lex's eyes, through the war that's happening. And so this is one of our main point of views, is Lois. And so I really thought it was great the way that they use her to establish the relationship, but also to establish her as just a badass, like, woman reporter, that she's going to get to the truth no matter what. And that is Lois's superpower. She might not be a superhero, but she has superpowers, and she is fantastic what she does. And so I really think how they represented Lois in this movie, and how her and Superman, that scene where we saw that early picture with him putting his boots on. Now we see,
makes sense.
Yes, now it makes sense. Like, he's not going back out there to help. He's like kind of over it, like defeated. She's like, aren't you going to get back out there and and save him. And so, yeah,
so they got it. They do this all the time.
Yeah, they got it. They're good. And you see it all happening. So James Gunn, like this in the background, the big monster, this is not the story, and this is what he's telling us, right? Yeah. This, what they're talking about, and her championing him and being there when the news comes out that his family sent them there supposedly to procreate and make little minions of his own and get rid of the weak humans, and she goes there not to judge him, but to really be like, I'm here for you. I don't believe that shit. Like, but it doesn't matter. I'm here. And so I'm like, wow. Like what a great dynamic. So that was one of the things I really loved. There's so much more, and I know we're jumping around a little bit because there's so much to this movie. But while we're on the subject, because we keep touching on it, one of the main cruxes of the movie, and also I found this epic shot I want to show you. One of the main cruxes of this movie is we finally get to see from the beginning Superman resting his laurels on this part of a message from his parents and how he's made it his life's mission to save people because of what this message represented and how it calms him down in times of angst and pain. Yeah. And then douchebag Lex breaks in, great scene, breaks in, everyone gasped when the engineer captured Crypto. Yeah. I heard they cut out a punch in the face scene because it was too jarring for test audiences.
These damn dog lovers ruin stuff. Punch Crypto in the face.
I would have been crying, bro.
As you should.
Curry, you want to say
these
hi?
little kids need to know.
I'll show you my Crypto. Curry, come over here. He's like, what's up? He just got off the couch. So we get the scene where Lex shows the other half of the video, and supposedly he's there to help, but if there is unwilling participants with the humans or weak humans or whatever it is, like, you got to clean house, you got to spread your seed and create superior beings that can help you. And it was a lot more nefarious than what he originally thought. And this is now the turning point in another crux of the movie where people are not on his side. People do not trust him anymore. We see the can getting thrown at his head, edit it where he doesn't flinch this time. So I'm wondering, and I want to pick your brain on this. What do you think of James Gunn using this as a way to have humanity turn against him? Do you think, A-Rock, do you think this is the appropriate way to use his parents? And did it rub you some kind of way, or did you really like it? I'm curious to see what you think.
I think in the idea of it, I like it. In the idea of it, I just think the execution. Oh, the doggy's here. The dog,
Crypto Curry.
So cute. He's so cute. But doggy, if you got to get punched in the face for the movie to survive, you got to get punched in the face. Hey, sorry, Curry.
Zach's sacrificing you, bro, for the sake of the movie. Sorry.
Sake of the movie.
He's like, you want to hug me and love me? All right, get out of here, bro. He is like Crypto, by the way. He's a monster. He's crazy.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Such a cutie. In idea, I like it because in different versions of Superman, the parents are the Kryptonians are different. Sometimes they're a loving species. Sometimes they're like the Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z. And their history is that Krypton's not even their original planet. They took it over from someone. And I've just watched Superman 3 or 4, one of those two. They were telling them, like, hey, if the humans are going to destroy themselves, you leave and go to a different planet. Yeah, quest for peace. You go leave and go to a different planet and figure out somewhere else and go to somewhere more advanced. So, and in the comics, they've done the same thing where the Kryptonians are always trying to like survive by taking over somewhere else. So the fact that he leaned into that, I thought was dope. Within the movie and how he executed it, it wasn't the best for me.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper was very distracting as stunt casting as Jor-El. I don't know what it was. I just did.
Like
I just didn't like it.
like his like the way he was speaking, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Or
just the way he
yeah,
looks. It just
it
felt
kind
like
of rubbed you the
Bradley
wrong.
Cooper in a cloth. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Like
like,
it
that's
felt
what it
quick.
was.
Like, hey, can we get you in for a day? Green screen you. Let's go.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah,
I
we
feel
get the
it.
biggest. My friend, get him in here.
I felt that a little bit too, because he was also supposedly one of the voices of the robots that he was
Yeah.
saying too. I tend to agree. And my boy Rock is in here. He is a great artist. He has his own channel where he'll illustrate like different scenes of comic books, and he'll go over, comic book Wednesdays. It is awesome. And we all three are gonna talk about fun stuff when it comes out. Maybe Fantastic Four, I think, would be a great conversation. But what he just saw the movie as well, and what he was saying that I really loved is that using this message was a great way, and I'm quoting him, to emphasize the core story of Superman being a product of his choices, not his birth. And he said Bradley Cooper should have been Jor-El as Wreck.
That was hilarious. I was starting laughing when I saw
that. but I love what he said, because I think you're right. I think it worked and it didn't for me. One of the things is what Rock said. It shows that you are the choices that you make, not the birth parents that you came from. Like,
exactly.
And so I love that point of it. There was something in me though that was like, I don't, and everyone was like, Mr. Terrific, Lex, like, oh, it's verified, like it's not edited, blah blah blah. I'm like,
yeah.
Is it though? I still, something in me always believed that Kal-El got his humanity from Jor-El and not Kara. I got it.
Lara Zor-El.
Lara. Got a piece of that humanity, whether it was him raised by them or not. There was still something from there. Russell Crowe being unwilling to conform to this military figure taking over Krypton. There's always been something about oh my god, now I can't think. But it was always been represented as like someone that was like pure good, and that was still in Clark Kal-El, even if he didn't meet his parents. And so when this happened, for some reason, I'm like, no, I don't believe it. We're gonna see something later, maybe not in this movie, but something later that was like Lex is fucking with him, or something. I was just so in denial. But and then using it as a way for everyone to turn on Clark like that. Screw what he's done for you. Screw all this stuff.
So fast.
We're going to believe this message right away. And it was like, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right
I had
when
an
he
issue
just
with that.
defeated that kaiju.
And landed it safely too. He made sure it didn't break no more buildings, don't kill nobody.
Like, bro, I'm trying here. Rock said hashtag fake Krypton news. Exactly.
That's hilarious. It sets up a lot of things for the future, especially for like a Zod. If they go that route again, if they decide not to do Zod, they do Hal-El, which is another character that gets sent to Earth before Clark does, and he was sent there to take over Earth. And
is it his half? That's not the half brother story, is it? Or no?
No. He's not related to Clark at all, because he's like 1,000 years older than him. But he got like put in something, and he survived and got woken up for some reason, something like that. So if they go that route, or even like the Doomsday, they could play with it with other Kryptonians. Even we're going to talk about Supergirl and her attitude and how she acted in this movie. You can see kind of why she acts different, because she may have the mindset that, the rest of the Zor-Els and all that stuff like that have. Like, oh, these humans are not abiding by what we think is right, get rid of them. And Clark's like, chill, go back on another planet and go get drunk. Leave me alone.
Yep. No, 100%. 100%. I think we're going to see more from this message. And I think James Gunn is very good at having a movie and still laying the groundwork for more story to come. He's done it with Guardians. If you look back at Guardians, you're like, oh, this is a Rocket story, the whole thing. It's not Star. So I think he's very smart at like touching on some things that hopefully we'll get some more out of in the future. I really think we're gonna get World's Finest. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be a Batman v Superman type story.
No.
I think he's gonna make it something different. So I'm so excited to see. While we're on the subject of Supergirl, let's talk a little bit about, I want to do this in two different breaths because I think Krypto is one of, if not, and I was saving him for last for best, side characters in the entire movie. I think what he brought in, and I was worried when they announced Krypto was going to be in it. I'm like, dang, you're stuffing this movie with characters. Is Superman going to get lost in the sauce? Like, what are we doing here? But the way that they use Krypto, in my opinion, I thought it was a great way to show the humanity of Superman, to have the Fortress of Solitude be all kinds of messed up when he gets home, to have him, there, when he wakes up on the farm on his chest, and then for Lex to use him to to rage bait him and make him look like the villain. I mean, we saw that scene, on Fallon or whatever, or Kimmel or something, where he's like,
I lucky didn't see that scene. That was my first time in the movie.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Ugly dog in a cape.
It was. I saw people making fun of him standing over him, saying it looked like a porn parody. When that picture initially, where Lex is sitting down and he's like, "Where's the dog?" I saw that clip and it was on Twitter, but I never saw the full picture
instead of this one. I almost was.
Thank God you did it. It does look like a porn parody.
That would have been funny.
It looks way better in the movie.
100%. No, I do. And you know what I also loved about it in this particular picture is Lex and him are the same height. This isn't like, like I'm smaller and I'm inferior. Like, and we're going to talk a little bit about Lex after Krypto and Supergirl. It's just so hard not to talk about him. But I love in this scene that like Krypto is used as like man's best friend. Like he's just a dog. Like, where is the effing dog? You know what I mean? Like, and so I love the way that Krypto is used. Now, to get the reveal at the end that Krypto is actually Supergirl's dog, and it makes sense that he was like, I'm actually kind of fostering right now.
Yeah.
I thought that was such a great way. It had such a big pop in my theater. I don't know if it had it for you, but when Supergirl came on and we find out it's Krypto is her dog and she's a drunk mess and that's why he's crazy. I thought it was such a great way in. So they use Krypto in so many different ways. And then at the finish, use him to intro Supergirl and then be like, oh, he's going to be in Supergirl. Awesome. He's going to be our new Nick Fury of the DCU.
He just get at the end of every movie, just gets passed on to somebody else.
Eye patch? No, just an
eye patch.
Slowly gets an eye patch.
Somebody finally punches him in the face and he gets an eye patch. Let me stop.
Zach's like, yes, in theaters.
They did
it. So I want you to talk a little bit about, one, what did you think about Krypto in general? Did you like it? Did it leave things to be desired? And then two, let's get into Supergirl. So start with Krypto and then you can lead into Supergirl, brother. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, I really liked it was another struggle for Superman to have in terms of like, how do I tame this dog even though I care about him? He's wild, he's strong as hell, he has similar, like, he bit Superman, it hurt. So that means he's very, very strong. Yeah. And I gotta be careful with him because he can hurt people. So I like that whole thing because he's dealing with so many different things at one time, and it's like this dog just needs
which is a dog owner mentality. Like, my dog is so crazy. I'm like, we can't take him off the leash. Like, he's gonna jump on random people and annoy them. And that is another humanizing aspect.
Humanizing thing. Yeah, because when you hear Krypto at first, you're like, oh, this is gonna be cheesy. But when you build nuance in a way where it's like you relate it to how other dog owners, or like even if you don't own a dog, you know people who own dogs and you know how it goes. So another way to humanize one of the most human characters in the comics. And I liked the fact that usually Krypto's is outstanding dog, right? Like that's usually how he is. They're starting even a character arc for Krypto because he's going to start off as this mess, as this crazy, chaotic dog. And I think he's going to find his way back to Clark. And I think Clark is going to get him to calm down. And then we'll get the Krypto we got from the comics and the cartoons where he's just this great dog that actually listens. Yeah, that one, the Great Dane, even though he's not a Dane anymore. Yeah. I think eventually Krypto will be there like that. And he will grow as Clark grows. I think that would be really dope. And then Supergirl, I was very interested in how they were going to depict Supergirl. Because Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is a very interesting story. And it is about her going to planet, having fun, trying to drink away her trauma from Krypton blowing up, losing her parents, something that Clark didn't have to do. So this is like, Supergirl's like if Clark was a teenager when Krypton blew up and survived. And that PTSD, but then ends up running into some things where she has to become a hero. I like the idea that they showed her like this, so we have a base of why she's going to act the way she acts in the next movie, and how she's going to build from there and maybe sober up.
I'm gone. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree. I think it was such an organic way to introduce Supergirl and then tell us everything about this character with one scene. Easy. One, she's a mess. Two, she's a mess. She's getting drunk. Acre of Movies. Oh, 3 out of 10. Oh man. Okay. I understand.
Acre is a tough critic.
Okay. I respect it though. I respect it. That's what we talked about in the beginning. That's what makes these conversations the best. But I really love Millie's portrayal in such a short scene. We get so much information about her. One, she has Krypto's her dog. So it's like, really, she's alone. Her only friend in the entire universe, this crazy ass dog. Whereas Superman is a working man. He has Jimmy. He has Lois. He has, what's his name at the office being like, hey, idiot, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, he has a life. And so in this scene alone, we see that she's alone and she's sad. And so it was such a great way into this character really quickly, but it got me super excited because I'm like, we're about to see a Supergirl movie that is way different than the movie that we just saw with Superman. And that to me is not just one of the best things about Supergirl, but the best thing about the DCU, Craig Gillespie. It's going to be a completely different vibe. It's going to be way different. And so I thought it was a really smart way to introduce her. And I think the suit looked really, really good
from the beginning. Like, I had problems with Superman's suit. Wow. It still doesn't look great, but her suit looks good.
Yes.
And it makes sense for her suit
better
to look
than
good.
Yes, better than Clark's.
Better than Clark's, but it makes sense. She's a Kryptonian. She had the material. She's had this stuff before he did. So it just makes more sense. And also the skirt makes a lot more sense for her to wear now because she's this party girl. She might be a little promiscuous or whatever and what she's doing. And I found it interesting.
I like
two
that.
Things I want to say.
Own it,
Yeah, own it. Is that one, what they did here was make a difference. So a clear difference between her and Melissa Benoit's Supergirl. right?
100%.
Because people forget that Melissa Benoist Supergirl was really popular, and that has a lot of people Supergirl. So for now, you to bring in this character, the fact that she's completely different from her, she's not this nice, very similar Clark character. She's the opposite. She curses, she drinks, she's wild. I like that. And also, people are saying that that might be Constantine's jacket she's wearing. If that's true, that could be really fun as well.
That is dope. I did not hear that. I would love that. And Aker is bringing up some great points, and I really want to get to the Pocket universe, and so we're going to get to that in a second as well, because I'm curious to see what you think about that. Just to end it with Supergirl, though, and Crypto for that matter, I'm really excited. They did the work, like in that little scene, at least for me, and I'm feeling like for you too. It bumped up my excitement a little bit more for Supergirl's movie. Millie Alcock playing the character and seeing more of Crypto with her crazy owner. Like, usually your dog kind of matches, yes, Curry is crazy. Yes, I am crazy. So it kind of matches your personality a little bit when you get the luck of the draw. But yeah, it made me very excited. So I can't wait to see more of it with her. I can't wait to see it. And guarantee we're going to see Superman in her movie for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I really think Supergirl is going to take mostly off planet, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
This is going to be
the comic is all
space
galaxy
adventure. Woman of Tomorrow it's darker. It's galaxy driven,
more
violent. Yeah. So that is what I want. And so hopefully that's what we get. And then we can talk a little bit more of like, great, if you didn't get that from Superman, here's Supergirl. I like these options. Now, Aker, let's get a little bit into this plot device of using the Pocket universe. I really thought, one, I thought, we're going to do the classic James Gunn thing, like the collector, and see all these, Easter eggs and stuff like that within, the people. We didn't really see anything.
No.
Two, I thought the plot device was a little bit too convenient, maybe using the Pocket universe as a way for some convenient storytelling within the movie. On the positive side, I would say the look was cool. I love, the kind of like Minecraft, like building blocks of it all kind of spreading out like Pixels, that crappy movie with the respect if you like that movie, but it reminded me a little bit like that. So I'm curious to see what you think. We know what Aker thinks of the Pocket universe. What do you think of how they use the Pocket universe?
I like the utilization of it because it makes sense to take Superman outside of the universe and put him somewhere where like he can't just go wild because there's a black hole. I liked the fact that it showed how far Lex will go for his plans. Like, because the fact that Mr. Terrific said every time he opens this, he risk making the black hole become unstable. He didn't care. like that's how
that was cool.
That was really cool. I like
the
difference. Yeah, he pushes it to the beyond. You even see that later in the movie when Otis, which was cool that they brought Otis back from Superman 1 and 2 and made him smart.
Mr. Luthor. The old Otis.
Yeah, and he was so dumb in those movies, and they made him smart here. I love that.
Yeah, I like that they made him smart. That was good, and he has that Otis look.
Yeah,
so I really like that part. Yeah,
I wish if you weren't going to drop Easter eggs, I wish it was more parted away, because it made me kind of look at the pods instead of pay attention to the scene sometimes.
Yeah,
and then I realized there's nothing there to look at
because we're more acumen to like, oh, here we go, Easter egg time. Where are we looking at? I think I felt the same way. I felt
because
the
they
same
talked
way.
about metahumans a lot, right? Like metahumans
Mhm.
existed before Superman got here. They talk about how metahumans are a scary problem. He even brings up the fact that metahumans are dangerous, but they're just not as strong as him. And he's doing all these government contracts. So I thought maybe he had a thing like, oh, this is a metahuman from Africa, or this is a metahuman from this country, and they paid me to hold this metahuman because we can't control them. I thought we were going to see different, like maybe even minor characters that they'll never use again, right? Like things like that. But it was just Metamorpho and his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it did take me out of it a little bit because we are so accustomed to the Easter eggs of it all when it comes to these kind of streams. Or oh whoops, I read stream when I was talking with these kind of things, like these kind of scenes. It seems like we're always looking beyond the scene instead of focus on what's happening. Because there was some great moments in that, particularly, when we talked about Lex shooting the dude in the head. That was insane.
Ali.
And even X's or Lex's exes. Lex's exes. I love that one. That's a new show.
That's a good one. That's a new show. DC's Love Island.
Yeah, DC's Love Island. I love that. So I thought, like, okay, that was funny. That's very James Gunn, use like the bickering between the two, like between the boxes. So, but overall, that was a big part of it, was using the Pocket universe to, one, create the big climactic Metropolis getting destroyed at the end scenario. Yeah. And two, where Ultraman goes. Dun dun dun. So I want to talk a little bit. Will he
be a different character now?
I want to talk a little bit about Ultraman with you. So we're trying to flow through it. Acre, stay with us because I want to hear your opinion on Ultraman. So if you read the comics, it's he's a clone and it's coming. But obviously, leading up to it, having the trailers reveal a little bit more, we're like, okay, like, is it Jason Momoa as Lobo? Or, like people are like just going off on these things, like, oh, the body, is it Henry Cavill back as, like all this crazy shit.
I would have booed if that happened.
No, too soon. Too soon.
And I think Henry Cavill could be a different character. Honestly, Henry Cavill needs to go to Marvel. He does not need to be repurposed. He
needs to be Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister, Hyperion.
I think a villain back in that villain era. We got to get Henry in his villain era,
or even like Captain Britain. But like
those are the
villain would be really good.
If even they weren't going Mr. younger, I would have been Cyclops. I would have loved him as a leader.
If he was, if this was 10 years ago,
that's what Cyclops is. Not, and I love Marston, but not. You know what I mean?
We need somebody bigger and more imposing.
And Rocco's right. Henry Cavill was great Wolverine. If it was 10 years younger, also that would have been my Wolverine choice for sure.
Yeah.
Did you like him? I know we're getting off tangent a little bit. Did you like him as the Calverine?
Oh, I love that. Because I didn't expect it coming. It's been a fan cast for a long time. I actually like that they got it out of the way because I don't want him to be Wolverine. I want him to be a different character in it. Because people are like, oh, he was Wolverine. It's a multiverse. He's not Wolverine in the main universe. Let's get him as a different character. It's cool.
Yeah. No, exactly. I totally agree. I mean, Henry's such a great actor. There's so much you can do. So many iconic characters that he can play. I mean, James Bond, like he's not too old, but I digress. With Ultraman, especially, the mystery of it all. The Baravian hammer of it all, him, David, long hair, David Cornsweat, being the clone, and then him going through that black hole. I want to just pick your brain a little bit of, and I know we were going to start with like positives and end with negatives, but I think we're just critiquing along the way. Did you like the way that, did you like Ultraman? Did you like the way that they used him? Did you like the way that it ended with Ultraman? And would you want to see him again in some capacity?
So yeah, I have a couple of thoughts about this. So I'm going to start with the negative of it and then get back into the positive. So the negative is I don't like the way Clark disposed of Ultraman, because it threw away the story from the first half of the movie. He cares about all life. He doesn't want to kill anybody, blah, blah, blah. And then he just throws him into a black hole. That felt like, let's do fun instead of the plot.
That's a great point. So opposite.
If he was going to save this
Superman
big
and
dragon.
Lois, so opposite.
Yeah. My God.
He cared for Bizarro, and so did Lois till the end. You know what I mean?
Till the end. So he asked to be killed.
That's a great point. Yeah, it completely was the opposite of his ideology
in the beginning of the movie. And that when we get to negatives, that's going to be one of my negatives of the film, is kind of how like the emotional arcs from the beginning get thrown away for fun. And I felt like that's kind of what happened with there was no point where Clark talked to him. It was weird. He just kept talking to Lex, and I was just like, this is your clone. This is someone that's being tortured that looks just like you. This is what you would have been if you heard your parents' whole message. I thought that's where they were going to go. But they didn't do that. They just made him a mindless drone. They didn't make him Bizarro. They didn't make him... and then the hair thing was so silly. I did not like the red hair coming down thing that they did. It really should have been kind of, maybe he had a disfigured face or something else.
It should have been like an exact perfect clone, but just with long hair. Like,
because even he said he's not perfect.
It should have been like more menacing with his mask off, especially they had that picture of him, with it destroyed. And so I was like, oh, wow, like, that's cool. That's dark. I wish I had that up here. But you know what I mean? Like, it didn't really do anything for me. Once it was revealed, I'm like, okay, that's what we thought. And I feel like you're right. If it was a little bit more disfigured, a little bit more jarring to look at, instead of just Superman with longer hair, then it
in a black suit.
Yeah, in a black suit, it would have had more weight to it. But
he should have talked.
Yeah,
like,
and
sound like maybe like a baby version of him, like, because it seemed like he wasn't fully developed.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, something like, but like, you're right, that other side of the coin, like what you could have been if you didn't get raised on the farm, that is where you use it. I just think, and we're gonna talk about it now, but I think James Gunn, and we heard that they cut down a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
I think he was really concerned about putting too much into this for their first go around of the DCU. You know what I mean? And so I think there was more to tell in that regard. There was more scenes for Perry White. There was more scenes with Mr. Terrific, even though he got some great fight scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was more scenes for the Justice.
Girl.
Yeah. Yes. The Justice.
She was wasted.
Game. Yeah, I didn't like that scream. I don't like that Hawk
It
girl
was
scream.
Terrible.
That was annoying to me, bro. That was annoying. Yeah.
I was like, I get it. She's Hawk Girl, but she's not an actual hawk. She's from a different planet. They didn't have to do that.
She's like a princess, right? Like, pretty much.
Yeah.
Of her,
well,
she's the second royalty, pretty much, right?
She's not the original one. So that original one is the princess. The second one is not.
Okay.
So Hawk Girl's story is that she's a reincarnated soul, and she gets reincarnated in different places. The one that we're seeing at the DCU is the reincarnation of the last Hawk Girl, but she's actually an Earthling now.
If they do more Hawk Girl and she gets reincarnated, they better have Kendrick be like, reincarnated.
As she start rising. That'd be amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the fight scenes with Ultraman were good. I thought those were really great.
Yes.
The whole like telegraphing his moves.
The mystery didn't overshadow the story. It didn't really matter too much. It was really, this is about Lex. This is not about who Ultraman is. This is about Lex being so insecure and so hateful. And we didn't talk so much about Nicholas Hoult, and it's important to, because he, in my opinion, crushed it. And when he even says, like, like, yes, I am jealous, or what does he say? He has like that little thing, like, and so, yeah, that's my superpower. And look what I've done with that envy, yes, envy.
Yeah.
I am envious, but who cares? Because look what I can do with my envy. Look what I did to you. It was like, damn, he really went there and put him on blast and doesn't care of his self-image. He cares more about taking down other people to build himself up.
You talk about Kendrick. Think about Euphoria. Yeah, I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk, the way you talk. See, there's gonna be so many edits on YouTube using that with 100%. Lex as Superman.
I already saw, and I saw it before you posted it, but the GNX cover
cover with Lex.
So clean.
So good.
So genius. I love
just
that.
Like Lex. Yeah. Nicholas Holt's one of my favorite actors. He's been doing it for so long. He used to be Beast in the X-Men movies.
I just watched him in The Order with
he was
Jude
so good in that. Scary.
And Journey.
Right? He was so scary in that.
He was scary. Really scary.
Nosferatu, he was great. The Juror. Like, these are all three movies that came out last year.
The one with Nick Cage. Renfield.
Renfield. He was great. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. He was great in that
he's
too.
Just like, he's so, and that's why, back to what Aker's saying, he was the highest paid in the movie because he was
the most famous actor.
The most famous, the most established. Like, yes, I do think it would have been funny, and it would have been, woke mob would have came after this, but if Rachel Brosnahan got paid more than David Cornsweet, because she does have a crap ton of Emmys, for
the Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yeah, that's true. But somebody in the industry said that they got underpaid. They said that
they did.
Holt should have got $6 million, and the other two should have got $3 million. That's the minimum.
Yeah, we don't know their back end deals, so depending on how 122 mil opening is fantastic. Obviously, Sunday's ending, so it'll be at that number pretty much,
or 125 or something like that.
You know how they do it, like it's around there. So that's really great opening. That's the third biggest opening this year, behind Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. So that is great news for them. But I think they might have been a little bit underpaid, but I think their deal, if this does well, will be very substantial. And what this will do for David Cornsweet's career is way, way more than the paycheck for this one movie. And Rachel Brosnahan, for that matter. I know with Miss Maisel, and she's a little bit older than
This
David.
Is the biggest thing she's done. So,
Biggest thing. Yeah. And so...
also, a lot of these actors, Eddie, everyone's talking about Mr. Terrific. Eddie Gathegi. This is going to be huge for him. We might see him in a lot of more stuff over the next coming years because of how much people love Mr. Terrific.
I think you're right. I think he's great. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And I know we kind of went all over. We started with the positive. We started critiquing it more. Before we end, I just want to talk a little bit. I want to pick your brain a little bit about what you were saying about how you felt about the movie. I know you've had a little bit more time to sit with it. But why don't you talk a little bit about maybe what you thought this could have done better, or what you thought maybe was lacking a little bit?
Yeah. So one of the first things I can think about is that I really wanted a hard reset for this if they were going to start from scratch. Mm-hmm. And I think that this felt kind of like the DCU in terms of trying to catch up with Marvel, where it crammed so much and skipped so much just so we can get further and build out this world so fast that it feels like we're trying to catch up to where so many different events. I wish we'd have saw Superman going to Madripoor. We didn't even talk about the war over there and kind of like the political parallels it has with real world. I wish we would have got to see that actual action happen. So I didn't like that it was crammed with so much, and it felt like this was a sequel to a movie that we never saw, and it being crammed with so many different things made a lot of the plot points, the emotional plot points, like go away in the third act, because Like I was saying before, Superman's whole thing was like, I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to save everyone. It doesn't matter if you're beautiful, you're a fire-breathing dragon, if you're a squirrel, you deserve to live. And then, like I said, he killed, well, maybe killed Ultraman.
Just tosses his ass.
Just tosses his ass.
Okay. Thought you cared about more than thought you cared about yourself. He's a piece of yourself. You know?
He is a piece of yourself. And then I feel like Rachel Bronson was great. And she had, to this hot take, this is the best depiction of Lois and their relationship in movies so far. Not television, but in movies.
I agree. I think that's what Man of Steel was lacking with Amy Adams. Like, I don't think she really got to fully own that character, because a lot of that character is her relationship with Superman. And it seemed like she was put off to the side a little bit more in that movie. So I agree that it was a little bit better because they had more connective.
Yeah, because David Cornsweet and Rachel seem like they want to, in real life.
Aren't they both married?
Yes. I'm just saying. We've seen it happen. Brangelina, But with Man of Steel, it felt like Amy Adams was into Henry Cavill, but it doesn't seem like Henry Cavill was into Amy Adams.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Like just chemistry-wise in the film, you're saying?
Just chemistry-wise. Yeah, just chemistry-wise in the film. Just keeping it to film. I just felt like he was doing it because he had to, but it felt like she was like, I like you. So we can do this. This is easy. Especially after watching those old Superman movies. I never understood why Clark liked Lois in the Christopher Donner films.
Richard,
mixed the names together. Richard Donner films and Richard Lester, whatever these people names are.
Yeah,
I didn't realize there were so many different directors.
All the dicks,
all the dicks, just not doing a good job with their chemistry. But yeah, this is the best depiction of it. But even that, I think one of the biggest issue I had was the exposition in the movie. Lex just spilling out all his plans instead of keeping it to the cuff. I wish he would have shut up and let Lois figure it out. So we as an audience are traveling through her, and she shows why she's the best the reporter, and Jimmy. Obviously, they're tag teaming together, and every mystery thing that's happening, she figured it out, and that would give her more to do other than worry about Clark.
Damn, that's good. No, I agree with you. I think through her eyes, because that's what I was telling you in the beginning of what I like from her, but then I was also saying we didn't get to spend as much time with these characters as we should have. And part of that, obviously, he really wanted to spend time with Nicholas Hoult, highest paid actor on the film, main villain of the film, best actor on the film, chops wise. Yeah. But I think you're right. Like, seeing the mystery kind of unfold through her eyes, the investigative journalism part with her and Jimmy would have lent more well to the audience being like, surprise, like yeah.
Like if she would have figured out that was a clone, like right before he revealed the mask, that would have been like a big, like more tension building thing. The DNA saying that it's Clark's, and then he picks the mask off, and you see, oh shoot, it's Clark with long hair.
Yeah, like juxtaposed with the scene happening, and then figuring out the mystery. Like, yeah, that's a good point. I think I agree in it. I think it lends to me talking a little bit about like this movie is at neck break speed. Like once it starts, you are into it and it does not let up until the very end. And that is good and bad. It's good in the sense like, great, we're off to the races, no establishing, we're in the movie. But then the negative side is what you're saying, where it's like, but we don't get to live with these characters long enough, and we don't get to have these maybe more moments of mystery and the ride, the journey of it all. And so things are revealed a little bit too easily or conveniently or quickly. And so it's a dangerous line to balance on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then in my review that I posted today, my thumbnail says the movie lacks balance. I think that I really like the fun of the movie. 90% of the jokes work. And even the ones that I didn't really think that was that funny weren't atrocious. Like sometimes it's like, so much of this is funny, but the ones that didn't work is bad. It wasn't that it was bad, it just wasn't that funny to me. And the action, we didn't talk about that, is really, really good.
Really,
Like,
really good.
really, really good. I wish it was a little bit more practical. Some of
but it was
the effects
clean.
heavy. It was clean. It was very, very clean.
It wasn't the Flash CGI.
Yeah, it wasn't the Flashes. Even though it was the same guy that shot that movie, he figured out a way to make everything feel more tangible than that movie.
Ground the CGI. Don't make it look like out of pocket.
And too rubbery. Like, no, the only scene that felt rubbery is when he fought the little the spacemen.
Oh, not spacemen. Yeah, Lex's that fleet of dudes, people. Right?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't remember what they were called, but like that felt rubbery. Like when he punched the guy in the face and then he span to do the laser, it felt like they weren't real people. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, the action was great, the pacing was great, all the characters are great. I think the direction is great. We saw some really great camera angles. I just think that James Gunn's writing was lacking.
Interesting. Okay.
Because, like I said, it's movies have to start here and build.
Overall plot, or the way that he told the story. The way that he told the story.
The plot is good, even though I feel the story is 5 different movies in one. Like, this could have been 5 Superman movies.
And that's what I've seen people's critique on it, was that it felt like a lot of different things in one movie, like a lot of very different ideas and then all put together at once. Yeah. I would say that I totally understand that, and I can see it. I would say though, it didn't take me out of the movie completely though.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Like the whole, like, him mishearing or not understanding the whole message of the Kryptonian story could have been a whole movie, right? Like 100%. Him believing this is my destiny and
that's
blah, 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 blah. And then him going through that and then finding out at like the worst moment that, oh no, they wanted me to take over the planet. And then going back to his parents. Yeah. I feel like we didn't have enough time with him having that conversation with both his mom and dad. Like, hey, my birth parents wanted to be evil. And them going, well, it doesn't matter because we raised you right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the issue with the neck break speed. Like, I wanted more time with his adoptive parents, and like those scenes were so good, but it was like done. Yeah,
and then a joke. You know what I mean? And
done, a joke off to the race, back to the
like Lois going to his house. I wish we'd spent more time with her, because that was the moment where she's like, "Oh, I do love him," because he said, "I love you," and she didn't say it back. Right. Then she goes to his house and she looks around. She sees that his band is actually punk rock. I thought that was really, really good.
That was great. I love that.
She should have walked through the house, see the history he has, because it looks like he loved her, but he was keeping her like arm's length, and they never really got to why that was, because she never met his parents yet. Like, what? And go through his house and then have that conversation with his mom and like talk about that stuff before she races off with Jimmy. Like, have that conversation. It gets cut off, then Jimmy calls. I think my biggest issue, and I'm gonna stop rambling on, I don't want to talk too long, is that I don't think Gunn trusted Superman's world to carry the movie. I think that the character is really hard to write for, and he threw so much into the film and it made it a breakneck speed. If he would have just made his supporting cast, no Justice Gang, no Madripoor, no Russian leader, no, like, if it was just his supporting characters doing everything and built out his world and make you fall in love with everybody in his world and focus on him, then I feel like the movie would have been smoother and could still have a similar story.
Yeah, it would have been seen more epically, like more. I'm not saying like Dark Knight, or anything like that.
No.
I'm not saying it wouldn't touch a candle to that, but I am saying that it would have felt more like heightened, not
cinematic.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I definitely see that. Obviously, and keep this in mind, guys, like, we've only seen it once. We need to see it more to truly see if that feeling is still there, like the next time we see it, especially I want to see this in the big theaters again, at least one more time. I'm just like, this shit costs money. But
I know. I have Regal Unlimited, so I lucked out in that.
That's great.
So for like IMAX, I only have to pay like $12, which is fantastic.
Okay. That's fantastic. That is good. So So definitely, like, we need to live with it a little bit more. These are obviously like just our like initial thoughts, sitting with it for the weekend, for the a few days or whatever it is, and it could change. You know what I mean? Like, as of right now, do I like this movie better than Man of Steel? I can't say yes, because I've seen Man of Steel 150 times. Like, I've seen it so many times. I know the beats, I know the characters, but I can say that in a year or 2 or 5, like, it might. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it will.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the thing like that. I'm saying, like, I need to live with it more. I need to look at it a little bit more. But
And it's such
overall,
different movies.
it's such a different movie. It's such a different vibe.
Different.
Such a different vibe. So I really enjoyed it, though. I really did, for what the movie was. And James Gunn had such an uphill battle with the baggage of the previous universe, the DCU, and establishing this Superman, establishing this world, making this succeed so that he can continue to make movies in this world. Like, there's so much that is resting on him and Safi Saf's shoulders. That's what I call Peter Safford. And so I definitely get that a lot of the choices were made to play it safe. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
And in that lens, some negative, feelings of it, but at the same time, I understand it, and I appreciate what he was trying to do in the film, and what he did accomplish in the film, because it is a huge assignment. And I think overall, like, he did understand the assignment for what this movie needed to be. And obviously, people went out this weekend to see it. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. It's under projections, but it's not so under that they have to panic, right? Like, it's still doing so well, both internationally and domestic. So we can say whatever we want. Critically. He made the right decision, because it's making comic fans excited about DCU. And it's making some of the general audience excited for the DCU. I think you said that there's older people are not vibing with this film. And I think the main thing why he made the movie this way is because people have been making Superman movies and TV shows for people who are 35 and older, right? And the younger generation does not have a Superman.
Right.
I think he made this movie for preteens and teens to go, this is my guy.
Right.
And they're going to grow up with this character.
The gap of who this movie
and now they're going to grow up with this guy. This is my guy. These are my characters. And while maybe
this is my Iron Man, like, this is who I will be there for the next 15 years with this Superman.
So for, like, the older people who grew up with Reeve, who love Henry Cavill, who love maybe Tom Welling, and their characters a little bit more brooding and not as naive, and they're like, what the hell is this colorful, fast-paced, jokey stuff? It's not for you. He wants you to like it, but if you don't, it's okay, because we need these preteens to love it. Because we saw what they did with Minecraft. They saw what they did with Lilo and Stitch. For these, Inside Out 2. Like, for these movies to hit $1 billion, $700, $800 million, they need youngins.
Yeah, we need the kids. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's a big part of why some of the choices were made in this movie, to widen the gap and widen the audience, so that this is for everyone. And so yeah, I think, I don't know. I think we got into it, man. We got into a lot of stuff. I mean, it was mostly positive, and you could tell there was things that were positive, but also the positive things could have been critiqued. Like, you know what I mean? Like, could have been a little bit better, a little bit more time with. I think my biggest thing, and this doesn't happen, I told you, with movies all the time, is should have been a little bit longer. I think it should have been a little bit longer. And I never, 15, like a 2 hour and 15, 2 hour 20, right around there. Spend a little bit more time with the characters, but I understand why the decisions were made. I understand the assignment, and so overall, I really enjoyed the movie. So yeah, is there anything else you want to say about the movie?
Go out and see it.
Yeah,
Put your money where your mouth is. A lot of people
Yeah,
have been
see it
complaining
and
about
then critique
superhero
it.
movies. Yeah, people have been complaining about superhero movies not being different. This is very different from anything that's been coming out lately.
Yes.
It's very
Silver
comic
Age.
booky. Yeah, there's things that we've never seen from Superman's universe, like Crypto, like his
Yeah.
robots, like
Robots.
pocket dimensions. Like for them to
Yeah.
usually everything that's in here is
Metamorpho.
usually spread. Metamorpho,
That
Mister
kind of character.
Terrific,
A
uh,
kaiju.
a kaiju.
This is
Even though,
we literally are describing the Silver Age comics where it's like it's
yeah,
heartfelt and bonkers and serious and not and unserious, like everything in one. And
yeah,
so in those regards, yeah, like I think you did capture it, but to that extent, it's not going to be for everybody.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
So yeah, I think that will do it for our spoiler filled reaction and discussion. And I was looking forward to talking about this with you. I was texting you like, when are you going to see it? I'm in the theater right now. Like I just
When you
knew this was
text me,
going to
I
be.
literally just saw the last credit scene. Also, guys, if you go see this movie, don't wait for the after credit scenes.
I knew you were going to say that. You do not need to see it. And James Gunn was upfront with the end credit scenes. He does not believe in using those to establish future movies or that's how you get your pop. He says like those are for fun. You know what I mean? And that's what they were. They're for fun. They're nothing to write home about,
Yeah. No, I was so mad I stayed for that the first one was a nothing burger. It even makes sense because I'm like, Supergirl took Crypto, so how does this even happen? And then I stayed for the second one and I was like, I could have watched this online.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. But that'll do it. Zach, where can our good friends find you?
Yes, so you can find me on my YouTube channel. It's Zachattackreviews. You can find me on social media everywhere at ZachAttackRVS because apparently reviews is too long to put into that. And I post shorts, I post reviews, I do live streams every Tuesday, and I'm gonna start doing video essays. I'm currently working on my first one, and I'm on my third draft, so that should be coming soon. And I'm really excited for you guys to see it.
Is it on a specific movie?
No, it's on a specific film topic that's been really hot lately. In terms of like race swapping.
Can you say what it is?
It's about why race swapping happens and why it needs to happen.
Okay, I love that, and I think I have the same opinion that you have on it. It's about the actor, not, you know what I mean? It's about the right actor for that. It's not about the skin color. That's not woke. That's reality, my friends.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. And I can't wait to talk more about this stuff that we love with you. Cause every time we come on here, it's so easy. Like this is what it's all about, is finding your geek brothers out there with you. And so to all of you watching, I hope you join in on the conversation. Like, subscribe, be here for the conversations. Zach and I are going to be working on something that we can probably do maybe weekly, bi-weekly, something where we can continue to have these great conversations. We're just lucky because right now it's the best time for nerds because the movies are coming, and we're going to probably do another with Fantastic Four at some point, I imagine. So I can't wait to talk to you about that. My friend who I've been talking to, Rock, who I told you has his own show and does the illustrations, hopefully he'll get on the conversation with us, give us more of that deep dive into the comic book background and really where these things came from and why we're seeing them on screen today. So I think that will end really well because we have another Silver Age comic book movie coming out very, very soon.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So you guys can follow me at the Evan Edition. I'm on TikTok, X, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Be here for the journey. Be respectful, but your opinion matters, and we want to hear it. So drop a comment. Let us know what you thought of the movie. And we'll talk to you guys next time. This was awesome, man.
Peace.
All right. Take care, guys.